Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, what we're going to talk about on tonight's episode is something that should honestly give you pause at least and the most terrify the crap out of you. What I'm about to show you is a release that the Illinois State Police put out about revoking people's Second Amendment rights through their FOID cards. Now, we know that Illinois has FOID cards. We know that you have to apply for permission to embrace your Second Amendment in the state of Illinois. Okay, fine, that's over here. But I want you to listen specifically to the verbiage they're using and the end result, because this is where the devil lives. It's in these details, and it's extremely terrifying if you think about this on a national level, on a federal government level, even though the entire time this FOID principle is violating the Second Amendment. But let's dive into it. I want to hear what you guys think on this one. Everything is linked in the description box below. This is the final video that Arms Directory has sponsored, so let's get to that, and then we are going to talk about Illinois and at least what terrifies me. Anyway. Now, Arms Directory is a 2A friendly social network and marketplace of ideas. With social media at large censoring a majority of freedom, Arms Directory is a safe harbor of freedom for all of us in the 2A movement. They are the only 2A protected social network out there to post about our passion freely. You're free to post your favorite freedom pics, view blog posts of the industry, find local events, and more. And make sure that you join the LOA family that I set up on there and follow me on Arms Directory, and I'd love to see you over there. Thank you again to Arms Directory for sponsoring this week's videos. But now, let's dive into this because, again, just listen to the opening paragraph I'm going to show you. All right, everything is linked if you want to read more. Here's the article title. Nearly 300 Southern Illinoisans have to give up their firearms after gun rights revoked. Now, this came out on August 24th, a couple days ago. Listen to this. This should give you pause. Listen to the verbiage here. The Illinois State Police has received temporary permission from the state officials for an emergency rule change to broaden the use of, quote, clear and present danger reports that can bar Illinois citizens from getting an FOID card or cause a revocation of an FOID card, according to a news release by Governor J.B. Pritzker. So, the red flag system is built on clear and present danger. They've had an expansion of the definition of clear and present danger. If that doesn't terrify you, that the state government can just go, you know what? We do have that red flag law in place. It does say clear and present danger, but it's not clear enough or present enough. Expand the definition of clear and present danger and now seize some more FOID cards. This is the danger of an all-powerful state. Oh, it's okay. The guardrails are there. It's only a clear and present danger. Then about a little bit later, it's all of a sudden, you know what? Clear and present danger needs to be expanded. Just like the red flag laws have done in California and in New York and in Illinois. They started out with, well, family members know firsthand, and they can subject these people to red flag laws and get those guns off the streets. Then it became teachers, then it became pastors, then it became acquaintances, then it became professionals, medical professionals, and pretty soon it's anybody that has a heartbeat. This is a slippery slope, and it's terrifying on its own. But let's keep going. Let me show you what's happening in Illinois right now. Illinois State Police announced Wednesday that it has forced nearly 300 people in southern Illinois to give up ownership of their firearms after they had their firearms rights revoked. Keep in mind, this is on a state level of firearm rights revocation. This is not a federal. It's incredibly important because this is all about Illinois. If they were in Kentucky or Missouri, they'd be fine. As part of a firearms enforcement blitz, from June 16 to July 31st in 41 southern Illinois counties, including all these places, state police officers performed 710 compliance checks, which resulted in 295 people being placed into compliance with quotes, which means your FOID card has been restricted and your firearms are now in someone else's possession. But they didn't seize them, they just forced you not to have them. That's coming next. Which resulted, with the state firearm owner's identification card or FID card law. So here's what had to happen if you were found not in compliance. Illinois State Police said those placed in compliance had to do these following things. They had to surrender their FOID card, which means you can no longer buy or have a firearm. Transfer all firearms out of their possession to someone else, whether it be any entity that is a legal owner of a firearm that can actually have an FOID card. Complete a firearms disposition record to detail the guns involved, that's serial numbers and make and model. Quote, the enforcement details are designed to ensure those who have had their firearm rights revoked are in compliance with the Firearm Owners Identification Card Act, the agency said in a news release. So they're forcing people to get rid of their Second Amendment rights based off of state law. If this isn't Supreme Court worthy, I don't know what is, but let's check it out because it gets a little more uncomfortable. Quote, compliance checks are not about confiscating guns, but are about ensuring individuals who have lost their firearm rights to transfer their firearms to law enforcement or someone who is legally able to possess them. Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly said during a news conference at the state police's Metro East headquarters in Collinsville. So it's not about confiscation. You just can't have them anymore. We didn't take them, so it's not confiscation. But, however, if you do still have them, you're getting arrested. You see the game they're playing. We didn't confiscate guns. You just don't have your rights anymore. Someone else has your guns, but you don't have those guns because we don't have those guns. So it's not confiscation. It's just forced, revocation. Man, we are all about changing definitions these days, aren't we? Quote, Illinois and the nation continue to confront how we as a society can prevent gun violence. And there is no one answer or one action that any singular entity can take that will end this violence. Here come the red flag laws. This is terrifying. But he noted it takes many groups working together to make a difference while respecting a person's rights under the Second Amendment. Okay, at what point do passing state laws, which are even more strict than federal laws, allowing you to restrict FOID cards, which makes you ask the permission of the government of your state for permission to have a Second Amendment right, at what point are we respecting the Second Amendment, or is that just a tagline that you like to use because it gets some people on board? Oh, we're respecting the Second Amendment. Well, that's so great. You can't have any, but at least we're respecting it. Quote, ensuring those who pose a significant threat to themselves or others do not have access to firearms is not something law enforcement can do on its own. Here comes the snitching on your peers. He said medical professionals, school administrators, and family members can contact law enforcement if they are concerned about someone they believe should not have access to guns. Quote, it is often the people who interact with a person on a daily basis that notice threatening behavior, Kelly said. If you see something, say something. Now, an interesting little caveat to this whole red flag system that he's alluding to where anyone can see something or say something. It's ex parte, which means you don't get to face your accuser. You don't get to have your day in court. You don't get to find out the charges. All you know is someone complained to somebody. A judge said, yeah, he probably shouldn't have them. Without you being able to defend yourself, they come and take them, and your FOID card is gone. All the while, you're surprised at the very end and said, oh, you can't have your guns. Why? Well, the court said you couldn't. Based on what? Probable cause? Nope. Hearsay. This is why Illinois is not going to be eligible for all of that bipartisan gun funding for red flag laws, because they don't have due process. Anyway, keep going. Last thing here. Kelly said there are about 2.4 million people with FOID cards in Illinois, and that the state revoked around 20,000 cards in 2021. Now, on the whole of that number, it's a pretty small percentage. It's 0.01% if my math holds in the second. But at the same time, on individualized basis, that's still 20,000 people that don't have their firearm rights that did prior. And if they were in a different state, they would most likely have those gun rights as well, because this is all based off of Illinois law, not federal. And that's what I've got for you guys. If that doesn't send some spine tingling up and down, I don't know what will. And I hope you have an amazing night. I will see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points. See you there.